More breaking news coming in, and this is US President Donald Trump talking about the latest weapons that the United States is using in its offensive Operation Epic Fury against Iran. He spoke of the B-2 bombers and the bunker busters, the GBU-31s. Donald Trump is now flaunting other deadly ammunition that the United States is using in this war. And he's made one thing very clear. He said the supply of ammunition is infinite. There is no shortage of missiles. There's no shortage of bombs and drones. Trump said ammo supply has never been higher. Donald Trump has said the United States has unlimited supply of ammunition, and this is in direct response to critics saying that Iran is very systematically sending in low quality or earlier generation drones and rockets and missiles. Right now, the US is exhausting all its air defense system, and only then will Iran in the next phase of war send in the hypersonic missiles and latest generation, the newer generation of weapons. But America says, the president says, there's no shortage of weapons and ammunition. I want to quickly bring in Sandeep Punithan for more on this. Sandeep, the American president is sounding very confident, but there are two aspects that we must discuss. One, he says there's no shortage of ammunition. What is your take, Sandeep, on some analysts saying Iran has a plan? Iran initially is sending in older generation weapons and missiles and rockets and drones. US and Israel, they have a finite supply of their air defense systems. The moment that's exhausted, Iran will send in the latest hypersonic weapons.
That's the plan, Gaurav, and that's what we saw during the 12-day war last year, when you recall, when Iran started hitting Israel, first with a lot of drones, and then it started bringing in the big hypersonic missiles, the long-range ballistic missiles, all of that. And those effects started to be felt towards the end of the war. When the big hypersonic missiles started hitting in, they were breaking through the missile defense shields. And bear in mind, Gaurav, Israel is the most heavily defended country on earth. It is guarded by multiple layers of long-range, starting from short-range iron beam systems using lasers to very long-range arrow and terminal high-altitude area defense interceptors. So multiple ranges of interceptors stacked in Israel. The Iranians managed to get through some of that, and this is a strategy that we're seeing here in play as well, except that the theater of conflict has expanded across West Asia. The Iranians are, of course, a lot of their ordnance is being directed towards Israel. A lot of the projectiles are being sent towards Israel, and there is merit in what those analysts are saying. The fact is that Iran has been sending out a lot of the Shahid 136, the low-cost drones that they manufacture in the tens of the thousands. They have the largest production lines of Shahids in the world. Possibly the Russians come up a second. They believe to have 40 to 50,000 of these cheap one-way Kamikaze drones, and that is what they've been firing at a lot of these targets.
In fact, General Dan Kane, he pointed to the twin threats that the United States faces. The biggest threat that the US faces is long-range weapons. But then there are also those who are now saying, analysts are also raising that question, Sandeep, that the threat that's posed by one-way suicide drones, that's a huge threat in times to come.
It is a huge threat, Gaurav, and because there is no low-cost interceptor mechanism. The Israelis, of course, have the iron beam, which uses lasers. But the United States is still on the Patriot mode. It's on the Patriot and THAAD mode. High cost, high impact interceptors, which cost a bomb, literally. It's $1 million an interceptor. It takes weeks to build one interceptor round, and there is a finite number of those interceptors, and that is what Iran seems to be banking on here. You get the United States and Israel to expend its interceptors, and of course the Gulf states, by firing in all these low-cost Shahids, which they have in the tens of thousands.
Oh, absolutely. Sandeep, stay with me.